Oh, hello, and welcome to Dente, Rigamortis. I'm Review Cultist.
I'm Mikey, the E stands for evil.
And I'm the gamer in yellow.
And we're here to discuss those internet stories, most creepy and most pasta, and be critically silly doing it. Tonight we have the Tails Doll Curse. So, a little bit of background for this. Tails the Doll Curse is one of those older creepypasta things. It's an urban legend. It's more of a video game urban legend. It came out around the same time, in the early days of like creepypasta, like 2005-ish.
Okay.
According to knowyourmeme.com entry. It's basically a bunch of it's about the Tails doll, which is one of the 6 unlockable characters in the 1997 Sonic R game. And it kind of caught creepy fire online with people making spooky videos of it, and an urban legend kind of spawned out of it online about like a dad and his kid getting the game, playing it, and unlocking everything in it, including the Tails doll. And then the dad playing the Tails doll late at night while his kid was asleep, just like to play it, and he did a certain thing, was in like the tag game at night, in the middle of the night, and then finished the game and then went to bed. And then the Tails doll came out of the TV and killed them. And then that's basically how the urban legend kind of is supposed to go, is that Tails doll, if you play a certain part, at a certain point or play it, the Tails doll like comes out of the game and kills you, like Samara from The Ring, or Sadako from The Ring, or from Ringu. So,
You sure you're not mixing this up with the actual story we read?
No. This is actually
they both come out of the TV.
Yeah, they both come out of the TV. Because it's just one has more suspense than the other.
I guess.
And you'll figure out which one very soon. There's also like a song that kind of accompanies this, like "Can You Feel the Sunshine," which is one of those like peppy Sonic songs. Like, it's just one of those songs that like Sonic just seems to create, like the Sonic franchise seems to have, about like follow your dreams in the speed of sound, kind of thing like that. Like those kind of like, that's not lyrics to it or anything. That's just the kind of song that like Sonic games tend to have.
It's a little different than normal Sonic games. Normal Sonic games are like high-powered rock usually.
Yeah.
This one's like, I don't know if it'd be rock. Like it has a female lead singer. It's more poppy, yeah.
It's kind of like J-pop or like the English J-pop kind of stuff,
I guess.
And yeah, so basically, fans of the game made a number of YouTube videos and stuff online about it. An urban legend spawned out of Tails the Doll. A creepypasta then evolved from that, and now we have creepypastas of Tails the Doll. And
did you say that twice?
I'm pretty sure
creepypastas evolved from that, and now we have creepypastas.
And now we have creepypastas of that. All right, yeah. So
there's creepypastas of the creepypasta?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Inception. Creepypastaception.
Pastaception.
Yeah. Creepypasta pasta. Anyway, so yeah, we're doing Tails Doll Curse, which is on creepypasta.wiki. It was at least posted. I'm not sure if it was written by them. Like, I'm not sure here or there about that, but it was by Phantom Dusclops 92. And this one is on a page for the admins of creepypasta.wiki to look at as an example of what to look for to delete. Or to what to get rid of or remove if it's like just crappy pasta kind of stuff. Like, I think there's a tag on it that literally says like, ultra violence is super spooky, yo. Like, yeah, so this is already basically, I'm pretty sure this is like just an example creepypasta or like crappy pasta for them to know like what not to do for a creepypasta kind of thing. It's a cautionary tale. It's got a meta plot to it. But I guess we'll go into the rundown. two kids, Gil and Noah, get a copy of Sonic R for Sega Saturn at the EB Games. They get it free, in fact, because the clerk just wants it gone for reasons. They play the game, and it acts weird, giving them the Tails doll and causing spoopy issues with the game and the TV. After reading a Tails doll curse letter, or just like a letter that's in the game that like is about the Tails doll curse, the TV starts vibrating, so Noah does the most rational thing and starts smashing it with a hammer. And they go upstairs and to go play some games on another better working TV. At this point, the Tails doll comes out of the broken TV and Doorbell pranks them so they can find it and then clean the blood that's on it for some reason. After that, it goes up the stairs and attacks them when they start playing Sonic R again, and kills them as they try to escape and fight back. Police show up after a noise complaint from the neighbors. They find the boys in Noah's room dead, and take the Sega system for evidence, but don't find a murder weapon. Vinny. I think that was a very succinct rundown of the story.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. No. It's a video game creepypasta.
They're not all bad.
Yeah, not all. Princess.
Yeah.
So we'll go into everyone tolerates the grammar inquisitions at this point. So we're going to start with this one. Noah thought that it was just a glitch, or that someone hacked it. But Gil knew it was more than a glitch or a hacked game, much more evil. So this one's really nitpicky. The then in the part, but Gil knew it was more than a glitch. It's supposed to be than, as in THAN.
Yep.
Also, thus far, this story has a bit of story writing style that I'm just not a fan of. The kind of see Noah run.
It's written like a children's book.
There's a lot of there's a lot of the use of the names of characters, and it's almost too much for the story's own good.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you don't want to keep using pronouns and such of talking about a character, or else you lose the reader on who is doing what. Like, the pronouns isn't like they are, or he and she and stuff like that, rather than using their names, because then you lose the reader. And you're like, who the fuck's talking right now? Like, you don't know. But there's also, on the other side of that, you can use the names too much, and it creates the stigma of the story feeling a little too primitive. Like, again, like it's being written by a 10-year-old.
Mm.
So, yeah, it's just, that kind of irked me. Like, the names were used, like, almost redundantly in a lot of ways. And then on to my next quote. It then cut to a picture of Sonic being violently attacked by what looked to be like a stuffed animal version of Tails, with a very loud screaming and laughter for a split second. Then it went to the race. Okay, so I feel like this part removed the like in the part about like what looked to be, because it looks like you're seeing a visual version of it. It looks like, or it looks to be the Tails doll. Mm-hmm. It doesn't like look. There's too many like anomalous kind of like descriptors. Like, it looks like maybe it's like this thing. It's like, no, it's the Tails doll. Mm-hmm. Also, yay, gratuitous violence upon a character in a video game cause spoopy. Just, yeah.
Also, before we continue, there are 36 instances that the word Gil was used for the one guy's name.
Gil, ding, Gil, ding.
And 50 for Noah.
Jesus!
This is not a long
It is Noah's house. Mm-hmm. In the middle of the street, Noah's house.
But, like, okay.
Yeah, no.
Look at my search. No. Do you see the yellow on the right side? That's all the lines that it shows up on. It's almost the entire thing. Like,
for disclosure, this story is only 3 pages, maybe 2.5 pages long. Mm-hmm. And there are 50 Noahs and 30 Gils.
Yeah,
used in
that's
the
how
story.
many got killed by the
Jeez. It's like Super Meat Boy, where like you just like after you finish it, you just like do a tally, like and just see all the different gills and Noah's getting killed.
Yeah, pretty much.
Is this a commentary on Noah's Ark? How he couldn't get the fish on the boat? Gills. So many gills.
I'm sure, like, however many listeners we have also just
I hope so.
sighed with us in unison. Just a chorus across the world.
Chime in the comments. Did you laugh with Mikey or sigh with us? I'm curious.
Yes.
We'll have a poll.
Yeah. I might put a poll on Twitter right after this gets posted. All right. So my next quote, the next quote I'm going to use here. When Noah was done, the TV started to vibrate. Noah took a hammer and stated to hit the TV with it. I think you want started, not stated. It's like, I take the hammer. Listen, TV.
No,
I'm going to hit you.
Yeah, maybe he did. But it's like, no, you shouldn't do that. Your mom would be mad.
But then he did.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so it started hitting the TV with the hammer. Next one. They then walked upstairs to Noah's bedroom. So upstairs and bedroom are both one word each. Contractions, people.
Also, it's spelled wrong. You can't just put up and stairs together because stairs is like S-T-A-R-E-S.
Yes, because stairs is
That's an
like
I.
that's an I. Yeah, sorry, I gapped on that one. Yeah, so I wrote it correctly in my, but I totally forgot. I totally got. Yeah, stairs is in like upstairs, like staring with eyes. Yeah, definitely. On to the next one. He then walked to the stairs and he flew up them. Then he went to Noah's bedroom. Ow. That one just, for some reason, really hurt me. It needs a comma after them. So, like, he then walked to the stairs and flew up them, comma. Then he went to Noah's bedroom. And even then, like, there's a lot of thens.
It should be like, he went to the stairs and flew up them.
Yes.
At the top of the stairs, he went to Noah's bedroom
Exactly,
or something. Like, break it completely.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Also, should it be the he pronoun, or should it just be an it? Because it is technically just a doll at this point.
Yeah, but Tails is a guy.
It is apparently the spirit of the corrupted spirit of Tails in the doll, apparently. Or whatever it is that's animating the doll. Yeah. And then my next one, Gil asked Noah, "Are you sure you don't watch horror moves?" Oh yeah, horror moves. I call this one the Voorhees slide and slash.
Yep.
Anyway,
did you rehearse this in the mirror?
Yeah, it's supposed to say horror movies.
Probably, yeah.
But yeah, I just like
it is a classic horror move, though, too.
Yeah, a classic horror move. Just like.
Now, that is dialogue, and it is how the character talks because he does say, "You've been watching too many horror moves."
He said that earlier too.
Yeah.
Yep.
Wow.
But yeah. Just like,
is the word movie never used?
Because there are a couple of times where he's like, "Are you sure you haven't watched horror movies?"
A horror move.
Yeah, sure. It's like,
movie's not said once.
wow.
Move is said 5 times though.
So, all right, cool.
Wow, every single one. I just read over all of them.
Yeah, I read
okay,
over,
so some of them are like, I saw it move again.
Yeah. But there are two that
There's
say
at least two.
Yeah, and I must have typo-nized over the second one because I thought it said movie the second time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's 2 horror movies.
Nice. Wow. All right. Well, moving on.
Movieing on, actually.
Yes, clearly. This is actually just a nice segue to that that slasher movie boy band that pops up this time around Halloween, or like around like the season of Halloween. There's like a Backstreet Boys like cover, but it's all the classic slashers like Ghostface, Freddy Krueger, and all that. Yeah. It's like "I'll kill you my way" or something. Yeah. Anyway, moving on to the next one. Noah asked Gil, "Of course, I'm sure." Of course is spelled wrong. It needs a U, not an A. Of course, as in like dinner course.
Oh.
Or it's actually no course as in like...
It's like,
as it's
coarse sandpaper.
Yeah, coarse, yeah, exactly, like sand.
Yeah, and that's also dialogue.
Yes, but it's spelling in dialogue. So like, they're not saying, "Oh, I hate you." It's one thing if like, okay, it would be one thing if the, it's the right, like it's the wrong kind of word, like if it's caveman speech, right?
I can summarize this really quickly. They sound the same.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. It's the difference between spelling and pronunciation. Mm-hmm. And then on to my last one. Gil then stepped on its head and ran to the kitchen to get one of the kitchen knives and swung at the doll again. So it's supposed to be knives, not knives. Mm-hmm. There is no... Like, knives isn't a thing. It's you add a V instead of an F. And that's my grammar positions for Tales of the... Although I'm sure there's more. Mm-hmm. God knows, I'm worried about the it story or front end and front butt story in this one.
The conjunction.
Yeah.
Yep. Completely forgot about front ends and butts.
To be fair, I only saw one front butt.
Yeah.
Like, I only noted one front butt, and it was near the end. But I left it out of my notes because I thought you, Mikey, the most nitpicky of us all, would get that.
Well, it's been so long since we've had any. It's been its. So many its.
I know, it's as if there's some movie coming out this weekend as we record that's influencing the stories we've been doing. I
don't think there's that many front butts.
I think there's like one at the end.
That's there's one like halfway. It's like, but no, I didn't listen.
Is there any front ends?
I'll try to quickly recover your story for you. That's a comma. But when they got there, Noah and Gil were both upstairs.
Yeah, that's the one I remember reading. So there's only two?
Only two front ends.
Huh.
Front butts.
Sorry, those were butts. There's 62 ands. Hang on, let me quickly.
5 hours later.
And no, there's no front ends.
Okay.
Alright.
So it is relatively clean.
This pasta is clean.
Just a couple little butt particulates in there.
Yeah. Yes. There was two front ends.
Oh, was there?
Yeah. Oh, that's not even a story then. Jeez.
I know. It's so disappointing.
Yeah.
When the game started, they didn't see Sonic or Knuckles. They only saw what looked like Tails.
Yep.
Should be looked like.
Mm-hmm. Past tense, people.
Yep, and then here's another one. The first thing they noticed when Noah started the first race was that the track was full dark red and black, and the music that was playing was Can You Feel the Sunshine? But played backwards.
Because spooky.
Backwards things are spooky.
As Ben Drown brought in with the backwards Song of Healing.
Mm-hmm. I don't know if they invented it, did they?
No, they didn't. But it was definitely
like the Lavender Town.
It was definitely Lavender Town's not a backwards song.
It is. The backwards Lavender Town song is the thing.
No, it's
just the
Lavender song itself is like. The whole thing is like...
No, like in the creepypasta, about like one of the one of the Pokemon ones.
Oh,
about Lavender Town.
Okay, yeah.
It was the backwards version of it.
Yeah, so I thought you meant the actual like creepypasta about the Lavender Town song, which is like that... The original song that was in the game had a few extra like tunes that actually drove people, or like kids to commit suicide.
Oh,
and stuff.
no.
But yeah, no, yeah, exactly. Like making a song inverted is kind of a video game creepypasta staple for like being spooky because something's wrong. Mm-hmm. Although I kind of want to hear what, like, Can You Feel the Sunshine? What that
There's
sounds
one
like
on
backwards.
YouTube.
Is there one on YouTube?
That's already backwards.
Nice. I'm sure it's creepy because, like, again, you get that discordant, like, no.
It's really not. It's not that creepy because, like,
the lyrics are so like happy. It's just weird. It just sounds like it's in another language.
Well, that's the thing. Like, and again, like this could be like the difference between you and me. But like, I genuinely find like backwards music just kind of unnerving. Like, and I think it's because of the discordance in it.
Just because you know what's wrong.
Yeah.
I can load it up real quick if you want.
After the recording.
All right, fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it should be the first thing they noticed.
Yeah.
Just tense. And then...
I thought I had something about the red... Or the
full dark red.
Yeah, the
black,
full dark, yeah.
Full dark.
Full dark. You never go full dark.
If it's full dark, it's just black. Yeah. The whole thing, the whole screen.
Right?
So what should I say is like...
Fully...
It's completely black and red.
Yeah.
Like everything is changed to black and red.
Yeah.
And that's what I had. Unless you want me to go into my 2-part It story, because there's only 2 lines.
Go for it.
It might be like a really...
For a very short... Sorry.
Okay.
Okay. Sorry, I just realized that I cut you off. And
Yes,
then, like,
you did.
That's going to be really bad for like blending.
Of course.
Like for editing. And now, Mikey's very short It story. Take it away.
Or should we call it a snip it?
No, you do it. You're already there.
And now for Mikey's snippet. Take it away.
It then cut to a picture of Sonic being violently attacked by what looked to be like a stuffed animal version of Tails, with a very loud screaming and laughter for a split second. Then it went to the race. It looked like a Tails doll. So he turned towards his left and didn't see anything.
Holy run-on sentence, Batman.
Yeah, that's a really long one.
Also, it's like, that looks like a Tails doll. I like snobbishly look to the side. I can't even bear to look at you.
See, the problem with... Even if there were a whole bunch of fronets and stuff like that in this, every sentence has so many descriptors that nothing can be taken out of context.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Which is good to a degree. Because you want to have more descriptors.
But as you said, there's a point when it's too much.
Yes.
Where Gil did this, Noah did that.
Yeah.
The Tails did this.
Gil and Noah, like... Yeah, like...
There's 50 Noahs.
There's 50 Noahs. Like, take one away. At least one away.
And...
Yeah.
Right. Oh, so you're done.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Alright, so the first one is... This is when they start playing Sonic R. Supersonic started to move by himself. He unlocked Supersonic really quick.
Yeah.
Gil looked over to Noah and saw that his hands worked on the controller. As soon as Supersonic crossed the finish line, Noah was able to control him. And what looked like Tails was right behind him. When Supersonic and Tails crossed the finish line, it looked like Tails won, but it said Supersonic won. So, it's kind of repeating the same info.
Redundant wording.
I'm not sure if it's a typo or not. Like, the typo might be... like, the first mention of the finish line is cross the start line.
Yeah.
And then it's talking about the race, and then when they cross the finish line, it's like that.
Yeah, this isn't the first time I think this story has had a redundancy in the wording.
Yeah.
Unless, well, there's multiple laps.
Yes.
In the course, so it crossed the finish line on its own, and it's like, oh, I have control now. And then,
but the finish line is the last line.
But it's still the finish line for the lap.
But it's only technically the finish line when you pass it the last time, right? Because it's the starting line when you start. Yeah. And it's the finish line when you end.
But it's also the finish line for the lap. Because the lap is finished at that point.
I suppose. But fuck you.
Wow.
Yeah.
Rude.
Yeah, but yeah, this whole segment was really confusing. So is it like Sonic passes the finish line and then Noah can control him, but the race would be over at that point if it's the last finish line?
I just don't know. I mean, like, there are some, like, I know some racing games, like, after you, like, get to the finish line, you can still, like, see your... Even though, like, the cameras have gone, like, doing, like, something, like, cinematic, you can still, like control the character a little bit.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I also just don't, like, what was the point of this sequence. Like,
Yeah.
just I don't understand it.
Yeah. Also, earlier it said that Sonic was ahead of Tails, and then at the end, when they crossed the finish line, it said, like, Tails was ahead of Sonic?
Yeah.
Even though I thought that they were talking about the same instance of crossing the finish line.
Yeah.
I'm very confused.
It's almost like it wasn't done very well. Written
Sonic is actually about to pass Tails because he's caught up to him. It's one of those things where you're about to lap the person.
Yeah.
Oh. Maybe. That would make sense as to why Sonic won, even though Tails was ahead of him.
Yeah, it means that, yeah, so it makes sense because Supersonic is super fast. Like,
sure.
faster than your average hedgehog.
Yeah. He's also the best character in the game.
Yeah.
Is he?
Yep.
He is
I
super.
also like how he got it like right off the get-go without like apparently doing any of the achievements and like unlocking everything else first.
Well, it's a haunted / glitch
Yeah,
game, right?
It's fair.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying the initial urban legend had more cohesion than this story did. Because at least in that one it showed that like the character, like the kid and the dad,
It worked normal for a while.
Yeah, they achievement ran the entire game, and then it killed them because they were achievement horse.
Yeah.
Mikey.
It had the complete save file with everything on it on the disc.
Oh god, so it's like a Ben Brown scenario again, with like there being a save file, a previous save file with all the stuff there.
Mm-hmm.
Motherfucker. Just ripping away from like better video game creepypastas.
Well, it's also a technical impossibility to save a save file on the disc. So,
Shut up. You don't know.
It's burned onto a DVD RW. You can write and rewrite on it. I don't know.
Yeah. Just
It
keep going.
came with a memory card.
Let's progress forward. What else you got?
All right. The next one is in regards to the letter, where so the quote is, "That's when it said they unlocked the Tails doll and quote unquote the Tails doll curse. When this happened, Noah and Gil both looked very confused. Is that a letter?" Noah asked Gil, and all Gil could say was, "Nod his head." What?
You could say it was not his head?
Oh, sorry. All he could do was nod his head.
Okay. So that would have been like, wow, how did
Yeah.
I miss that?
Noah went to play as the Tails doll. Wait, Noah went to play as the Tails doll when the letter opened up. So where's this letter? Is it like an envelope in the game that's
Okay.
shown? Or is it like...
Yeah.
And how is he opening it while he's in the act of picking another character? I don't understand.
Yeah. I actually have something about this. I might as well bring it up now. I feel like it probably should have mentioned the letter before the characters reacted to it. Like, it's like, it says like, that's when it said they unlocked the Tails doll and the Tails doll curse. When this happened, Noah and Gil both looked very confused. And then the next thing is that a letter? Noah asked Gil, and all Gil could do was nod his head. Noah went to play as the Tails doll when the letter opened up.
But what
So
is
the
the
letters
letter?
actually the letters actually revealed after the reaction. And I feel like there should have that should have been brought up when they unlocked Tails doll, and then a letter came up saying that you've unlocked the Tails doll curse. Like, as it is right now, it's like they react to it, and then we find out what the context of that reaction was.
Mhm.
That's the problem with this whole like section, is that our context is after their reaction, and to me, and like usually I'm sometimes fine with that kind of stuff. In this case, I'm not. Like this feels like there should have been some more context of the letter before they reacted, so that we know like what they're reacting to, like right off the get go.
Yeah.
It kind of comes out of left field.
Or Left Town.
Yes. Or Left Hill, if you want to go a little more like... It's right next to Emerald Hill in a Sonic game. I'll just leave them.
Yeah, a little bit. But this whole letter situation just confused the hell out of me.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming it's meant to be like... There's like a mail system in game where they send... Where like these are messages like, you unlock that, you unlock that.
Yeah, like maybe as like there's like... Yeah, they need to say something a little bit.
Yeah.
A little bit more.
I don't understand what the fuck this is. Not well described. It needs more words.
Yep. Ironically. Like, maybe get rid of some of those names and convert them into words.
Yes, indeed. Also, that's about it.
Okay.
You got everything else to add?
All right. So, on to actual thoughts. So, I'm going to start with this one at the very beginning. Gil and his friend Noah were looking for games for their Sega Saturn at EB Games when they came across Sonic R. Okay, I actually had to really just read that as I wanted to check and see if EB Games had been around for Sega Saturn stuff to start coming out. And I learned actually some things about EB Games and as a business as a result. Like, according to their Wikipedia page, they've been around since the 70s as an electronic boutique. And in the 90s, they did actually branch out in the franchise and even went into Toronto. Toronto was the first time they branched out into to Canada and some of that. So they did actually branch out as a franchise in the early to mid 90s.
When did they become EB Games, not Electronic Boutique?
Early to mid 90s. They became EB Games.
Okay, so that's probably right then.
And then they bought a GameStop in the early 2000s and stuff like that. Yeah. But also, and I checked Sega Saturn and stuff. Sega Saturn came out in 96. So they would have still. And the reason why all this kind of came out is because I've been so confused and colored by the recent versions of EB Games where they sell more merchandise for games than they actually sell games. But there was a time, kiddies, when EB Games actually sold more games than merchandise.
Yeah.
There wasn't just a whole, half the building, or if 75% of the building was all just backpacks with the characters on it and plushies and vinyl pops. They actually had most of the walls and aisles were lined with used and new video games of multiple eras, including the Sega Saturn stuff. But yeah, it was just one of those things where it was I realized my age, where I was did EB Games even exist at that point?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, they did exist, and they did at one point in their heyday. They did sell Sega Saturns.
Back in the day, I don't remember any merch there.
No, there was
just wall-to-wall
Nintendo
games.
Powers magazines,
that's the most
game magazines, and maybe a few things that were specific, but it was usually at the counter.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, they had a couple things here or there. I remember just a few years ago.
Yeah.
Because literally the merch thing happened
in
recently.
Yeah, because it definitely happened in the mid to late 2000s. 2012 probably is around when it started happening more and more.
Well, I noticed it not even 3 years ago. Was...
Yeah, that's and it also happened. It might just be because of the economy and price values. Because we used to have a two GameStop / EB Games in our local mall. One was on the second level, one was on the first level, and they closed down the larger of the two venues. Because of pricing. Yeah. And I think that's what did it was because there was a time where they were going between section venues of the mall before they situated right next to the food court. Mm-hmm. And that one is the tiniest venue compared to and we went to earlier this year me and Gamer went to a one in near Stratford that was literally out of what looked like it had been
an old Tim Hortons.
An old Tim Hortons or an old Harvey's
by
building.
itself, a singular building in a parking lot.
In the middle of a parking lot, the kind that you drive through in. And
if they had drive-through games.
Oh my god, that'd be amazing. Or return games, something that'd be so sick.
Welcome to EB Games. What can we get you? I'd like Evil Within 2, please. Just a minute.
Oh my god, that'd be so fucking.
Here we have it. Move up.
EB Games. You're sitting on gold.
Yeah.
Anyway, this actually, I will give this story this much credit. It did get me to start researching a little bit on EB Games as a franchise, not brand, as a company and business. And then again, looking back at if the plausibility of it being having that such an old system. Mm-hmm. And the answer is yes, it would.
Yes.
So, all right, on to my next comment. Noah thought that it was found a grammar acquisition.
No!
Noah thought that was a hack. It's supposed to be it was a hack. So Noah thought that it was a hack, but Gil thought the game was haunted. He didn't think that their copy was the only haunted version of the game. He thought all the copies were haunted by Tails. Why?
That's exactly what I wrote down for my note. Why?
The only indicator of something being wrong with your copy of the game is the clerk at the EB Games wanted you to take that copy out of the store.
Yeah.
Where's the all copies of the game being haunted coming from? Like,
I don't
that's
know.
my clue. It's like it's almost felt like the Spyro.exe thing, where like it was just how absurd the revelations and the connotations were going on with that one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right, on to the next one. When Noah beat the first race, he unlocked Supersonic. Gil knew that Noah didn't get all 7 Chaos Emeralds, but Noah didn't question how he got him. But he did stand up and cheer for himself. And cheered for himself.
I did it.
How did you unlock him so quickly? Asked Gil. Okay. For a second I thought it was like Noah cheering. It's like, how did you unlock it so quickly?
Yeah.
And then Noah's response to that was, I don't know. Noah screamed excitedly. Why are you questioning, Gil? Something feels weird about... Oh, sorry. Gil's talking. Something feels weird about this game, Gil said. The game feels haunted or something. You've been watching too many horror movies. So, okay, I got a few things here, guys. There's a few things wrong with this. Yeah, don't question it. The story. Don't question the story, guys. It's fine. Everything is fine. Seriously, though, I hate this format of dialogue, like where everything is just in one paragraph.
Yeah.
You need to format it so it's like we know who's talking. Like have each be broken up into a separate line.
Yeah, each line of dialogue, you go enter to tab it down.
Because otherwise it just causes confusion. Like, yeah, Noah jumped up. How did you get to unlock this game so quickly? Woo!
Said Gil up.
Yeah. Also, yeah, like Noah just like acting like, why are you questioning this? It's like, why are you not? Like, but then again, it's horror trope 101.
Yeah.
Like, characters are
Characters are
fine.
idiots.
Nile. The Nile isn't just a river in Egypt. It's denial. It's not just a river. Anyway. Yeah, just that whole paragraph hurt me more than most. And then we get to let's go to this one here. The TV stopped vibrating. I stopped the TV from vibrating. Yes,
I know, the narrator just told us.
Yes, but now how do we play the game? Gil said. I have a TV in my room, Noah said, as he unplugged the system from the now broken TV and wall. You do know that your mom and dad are going to kill you for breaking the TV, Gil. So there's quotations at the beginning of this dialogue. You do know that your mom and dad are going to kill you for breaking the TV, but then there's no quotation at the end, so it just immediately goes into Gil.
The rest of it is all dialogue.
My God! All right, perfect. Just rip up my notes. I don't have anything else to say about the story.
Which means the Tails doll never comes out of the TV. Woo! It's all just being told.
Yep.
Yeah.
But no, seriously. And then it continues like, I know, Noah said, but it was worth it. And my reaction to this was, what? Like,
why was it worth it?
why did, like, just, I hate this story.
Also, what I found weird about that is, like, the weird shit happens. Noah grabs the hammer, destroys the TV, and then Gil is like, yeah, but how do we play games now? Like, he's the one...
He was the one questioning the denial.
Yeah, he didn't want to play it, and now he's the one saying, how are we going to play it?
This story has multiple occasions of that, too, because, like, later on, they're like, they completely they seem to have forgotten, like, that playing the Sonic game was what caused the weird issue, because they immediately go back to it later on after playing another game.
Well, Gil mentions it.
Yeah, but at the same time, it's like, it seems like he's questioning it, but then still going along with it. It's like, dude.
He's very passive.
Yeah. Maybe just passive aggressive in this horror.
He's not aggressive. He's just passive.
That's his horror move. Passive aggressive.
Yeah. Also, like, since Noah just broke a TV, does he believe in the haunt now?
I don't think he believed in the haunt. I think he's just like shit. I don't know what was going. This is why I was like, what?
I wish Gil broke the TV.
Yeah,
That would make sense.
yeah. Because as it is, it just seems like Noah's really stupid.
Why?
Because TV's vibrating. This is how I fix it.
Oh yeah, giving it the Dutch touch.
Yeah, it's like caveman affecting it.
Mm.
Because I mean, when you tap on the TV to get it to work or to get to sit properly or something like that.
Mm-hmm. Use a hammer.
This is part of the senseless violence.
Yeah, clearly. Yeah, honestly, that's really what it is. Because outside of the one gratuitous violence against Sonic in the game, the one game sequence, and I mean the kids get killed but the kids get killed off super easily. And one word or one sentence descriptor, and the kid first Noah got killed, then Gil fought back, and then he got killed. That's basically the end of the story.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't say it's super gratuitous violence. Just
that sounds more like a Final Fight situation, anyways.
Yeah,
we're not even there yet in your notes.
I apologize. So on to my next thing. Gil then felt like they were both being watched by something evil. Hey Noah, do you feel like you're being watched?
By something evil?
I almost thought it was going to repeat itself in the dialogue, to a T. And it was close.
Yeah, almost. Yeah.
Oh, it's so good. And by so good, I mean terrible.
If the narrator's like, why am I here?
Yeah. Am I just here to paraphrase?
Yeah.
Hey, Noah, do you think that the narrator's having an existential crisis? And just
This goes super meta.
Yeah. So on to the next one. As he was walking to the bathroom, he saw something out the corner of his eye. It looked like a Tails doll, so he turned towards it. Yeah. So he turned towards his left and didn't see anything. Seriously.
So we turned?
So he turned.
Oh, I said we. I'm like, he's by himself.
And seriously, this story has next to no suspension. Sorry. Next to no suspense.
Yeah, it's dragging on the ground.
It is dragging on the ground a little bit too. But yeah, it has
every bump you feel.
It has no suspense. It has no tension. It's just. I feel like I've literally been reading a wiki plot synopsis of a bad horror movie. In parts of the story, there is no build up or setup. It's just summarizing a scene.
Yeah,
it's not building any kind of atmosphere at all. It's just
it's a jot form thing put into paragraphs
of a movie scenes, because the part where when they leave, they go upstairs, and then the doll comes to life and jumps out of the dry spot where the near the sink.
Yeah,
that feels like something somebody would write in a wiki plot just to show the thing. But in a movie or in a story, you should have the kids go up there and you don't see that part happen.
The narrator sees it, though.
The narrator does. In a movie, the narrator would see that. But in a story, you can leave that part out because it doesn't need to be described.
Yeah,
because you're following the kids in the story. You're not. It's not like a movie where that's why I mean it feels like a wiki plot summary of a movie, because it feels like we're basically whereas the kids, you see the kids walk out of the scene and go up the stairs, and then as soon as they're out of the scene, then the camera shows that the doll has come to life and is doing its havoc, almost like a Puppet Master or Chucky kind of scenario.
What's wrong with that, though?
In a story, it doesn't work because you need to write it differently so that you can build some kind of suspense or some kind of atmosphere as to why that is scary. Because if you leave it out of it and then just follow the kids up, you get you don't see it's less is more kind of thing. Where you don't see that kind of stuff. In a movie, you can do that because, you can get the visual, and that's creepy in itself, but it's harder to get the visual when you're reading it.
You can describe the visual. Instead of it just being the Tails doll jumped off the counter and left the room.
Exactly, yeah.
It could be when they left the room, the Tails doll started to twitch and Yeah,
exactly. Do it, that's the way to do it better in a story, but otherwise you can leave, you can either do it that way or you can leave it out and just follow the kids rather than follow the doll. Either follow the doll or follow the kids. Don't do both, which is what the story kind of does, and it kind of falls flat as a result. So, my next one. Noah and Gil both stood up and walked towards the door. Noah opened it, and they both ran as fast as they could. Right. This scene. Sorry. Okay, I'm going to start that over. Noah and Gil both stood up, and so this is when the Tails doll has like is starting to attack them.
It like teleported into their room,
Yeah.
or something, and it's like started to move. I guess
Yeah.
it hasn't started attacking them yet.
So Noah and Gil both stood up and walked towards the door. Noah opened it, and then they both ran as fast as they could down the stairs and almost got to the front door when the Tails doll fell in front of them and killed Noah with his razor-sharp claws. This made Gil very angry, and he grabbed a baseball bat and started to swing at the Tails doll, each hit missing. This whole sequence, among many others in the story, are just kind of laughable to me. Like, I kept seeing more comedy than anything terrifying. And it's not just on account of the doll, like, being a doll. Because I personally believe that, like, as Chucky and other horror media have brought to the table, you can make toys creepy. Or play on the irrational fear some people have of dolls and toys. Like, you can build that up. But more so in this story, it's just the characters / victims of the story and their actions are just silly and dumb. Like, they're just really dumb about doing things. Like, the part where, like, they when the doll thing starts attacking them in their room, like when it appears and starts moving, they walk to the door.
Yeah, this is
and then start running.
This is exactly how I saw it happen. Because it just says that they stood up. So the Tails doll comes out, and then they're sitting there playing games. They see it, it's like, oh, put the controller down. Ugh.
Exactly. That's exactly how I heard. Now, you could build it up, like, to improve it. You could have it that they walked backward away from it, like, not losing eye contact. Like, build up that scene.
Yeah.
That's, again, what I was getting at earlier. They don't build up the scenes at all in this story. They just kind of they paraphrase and, like, give you a crappy rundown of the scene.
It's like, for how many descriptors are in this? There's not enough descriptors?
Yeah, there's not enough there's not enough descriptors of the atmosphere, of the tension to make it a horror story.
Yeah.
So, and again, this is technically just like kind of a creepypasta or like a what not to do kind of thing, but still, like, we're picking away at it as, like, because it's our show and because, like, that's what we do. Yeah, so it's just like there's a lot of stuff and yeah, this is just kind of a satirization. I hope. But man, is this dopey. Plus, some creepypastas are this way. It's like a double-edged sword for internet fiction. Like, the problem with the story is that this is also a percentage of creepypastas sometimes. Like, and it's just kind of the double-edged sword of, like, fiction. Like, it's either going to be, like, you're going to have really good moments, or you're going to have some really amateur work that is just put out there as a first draft. And sometimes it's that way for, like, the people to get more input and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But it doesn't make that any more silly. The problem is, like, some people, and I'm sure, like, some people on the comments of this said, like, oh, this is super spooky, a 10 out of 10. Or, like,
one of the comments said it's not actually that bad. I'm not kidding.
Audience, I am just deadpan staring at Gamer, like, from that. I think I remember. Yeah, I just, like. But again, like, we've all read those comments, like, on other ones that are just as bad, like Sonic.exe, Spyro.exe, like. Actually, I think Spyro.exe had the most, like, had the least of, like, that kind of thing. But yeah, it's just, like, really, like.
It's because it's Sonic. So,
it's
you just put Sonic on it, and you're good.
Yeah, that fandom is just, yeah.
Because everybody's Supersonic, right?
Fandoms override, like, critique, apparently.
Generally.
Well, thanks to nostalgia glasses and stuff. But anyway, I digress. That is the end of my actual thoughts for the story. Mikey, what do you got?
Alright, so taking it back to the beginning. With the whole EB Games thing.
Yep.
The salesperson would never let anyone leave the store for free.
This is the hill you die on.
Yeah.
That's fair.
It's just... The only exception for free is if it's a buy one, get one free. And then even then it's technically not free because you're buying another thing.
Would it be funny if like that's what he meant, and that's why Noah or Gil, like whichever one of the kids had a game, and he dropped it. Remember, he like dropped what he was like looking at, and they just ran out the building. Like,
Yeah, they just stole it.
Yeah, like they just misheard the clerk say it's like, yeah, it's buy one get that one free. So yeah, just grab. But they didn't hear the buy one thing, so he dropped whatever game he was gonna buy, and then just like got Noah or Gil or whoever the fuck it was, the other friend, out, and they just got out of there before the clerk could like react to shoplifting.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Or the clerk is a wizard or a warlock of some kind, and he put the Tails doll curse on it. He's like, here for you.
I was going to say that is kind of a horror trope, going as far back as Gremlins.
Yeah,
like the shopkeeper at the beginning of that movie. He doesn't want to sell Gizmo after the character finds it or finds him, but it's the grandson that gives it to him. Actually, I think he pays for it though too. So kind of a bad example, but I mean there are characters and that is kind of an archetype of like the spooky shopkeeper or like the shopkeeper that dooms the character by giving it to them for free because they're trying to pass along the curse or get rid of the curse.
Yeah.
Like it happens, I think, in Clive Barker stuff and other horror film media.
A lot of
and horror media in general. Like, that might even be the premise of Needful Things. Disclosure: I've never read Needful Things by Stephen King. I know I should, but kind of that kind of thing. Like where like items are like that's kind of a horror trope though. Like generally, as just like the cursed item being passed on by a vendor or by some kind of venue. So,
yeah. The way I made it make sense was that EB Games is actually rejecting trade-ins for Sonic R. So somebody came in earlier and was like, can I trade this in? And they're like, no, we're not accepting it. So we put it on the shelf.
And just got rid of
He's left it there?
Yeah, which explains why it doesn't have a price tag on it.
Oh, yeah, and then like the reason why he's trying to trade it in is because it was cursed. So that's he's just trying to get rid of it. It's like, fuck it, I'm just going to put it there.
Yeah, and then they pick it up, and he takes it to the front, wanting to get a price, and they're just like, take that out of here. We get out of here with that.
We don't have to deal with a second. This is actually a fairly new a story. I think like the story was I don't know.
You're saying that this is in like 2018?
Yeah, this is like 2013, even 2013 or something like that. It's just like we don't even sell Sega Saturn or Sega Genesis games anymore. Just get that fuck out of here.
Yeah.
Like it was actually right next to, it was on like the PS2 section.
Yep.
Yeah.
So that's how I
that actually makes sense.
Headcanon it for it to make sense, because otherwise, like, why are they not selling things? It's a business.
The question is, why are you trying to make it make sense?
I mean, because that's what we do on the show as well.
Yeah.
Gamer.
Yeah.
It's not all just fucking fun at things.
No,
we try to improve things.
Yeah. Except when it's Sonic related.
I mean,
that's unnecessary.
Alright.
Because it's already awesome.
Yeah.
You can't improve.
The speed of sound. Sonic, he can relay move. Sonic, you liking this, audience? Sonic.
Wow.
Wow, this is the episode. What do you expect when we're reviewing a creepypasta?
Yeah.
Alright, so my next one here is... The only thing that was there was a Tails doll. Noah brought it inside the house and washed what looked like blood off of it in the kitchen sink. When he washed the blood off, he set it up in front of a couple of dishes to dry and went upstairs.
Don't worry about it. It's fine. It's fine.
Blood doesn't wash away that
everything
easily.
Okay, yeah, but everything is fine.
It depends what it's made of. If it's like a plushie,
yeah,
then no. But if it's...
I'm guessing it's the problem is this, like, if it's the doll, it's probably a plushie. Again, it's not said. But, like, based on, like, the fact that it's supposed to be, like, the Tails doll from the game, which is kind of a plushie, like, looking thing.
But, like, it could just be, like, a plastic doll.
It could,
like
yes.
the dolls that were upstairs.
You're right.
You know?
Or the doll is actually an animal. And the reason why it's bleeding is because it had to go through a broken frickin' TV, and it cut itself on the glass.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
So they think it's a taxidermed fox with like the little antenna thing that like the Tails doll has.
Yeah.
Because that's what it is. The Tails doll. I guess we should have brought this up earlier, but the Tails doll is basically a like ragdoll looking like simulacrum of Tails, with like dead eyes, and then like it has like this like weird antenna with like that ends with a like a ruby like kind of crystal thing at the top. And I guess that's like a controller unit for the doll.
It's remote control.
Yeah. Honestly, it almost feels like a Robotnik kind of plot thing.
It is.
It's like, yeah, it is. Okay, I thought so.
Yeah, he basically sent it in to spy on Sonic.
Wow.
And the original model was made as like a target practice thing in some Robotnik game.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Oh shit! You guys got some deep lore there going for a Sonic game.
It was on the Know Your Meme thing, I think.
Was
Or
it? I don't
maybe I
know.
Wikipedia'd it.
Yeah, you might.
I must have Wikipedia'd it.
Anyway. Now, my take on this is that the Tails dolls, it's actually a member of the Supernatural Task Force, and is just getting a bad rap.
Why? Why? Why is he part of the SNTF?
Okay, so
This is going to be an uphill battle for you, I'm just going to say. Please go.
the killer is not the Tails doll. It's the parents. Because they broke the TV.
Your parents are going to kill you.
Mm-hmm. And the Tails doll is there to try and get them out of the house before the parents come home.
Okay. So that's why he knocked on the door. And he's like, but why didn't he? Okay, continue.
So the whole thing with them getting up and then running downstairs is because the parents actually came home. And they actually yelled and was like, "Why is the TV broken?" Like, oh shit. I'm gonna fucking kill you!
Okay. So what did the Tails doll do to stop them from dying?
He was there to warn them, but they didn't take the warning.
Because it's a fucking creepy doll.
Yeah.
I hate that I'm defending this so much.
Yeah. You've like slunk right down in your chair because how much that defeated you.
All right. I hate you, Mikey.
Yeah.
I hate you. You are truly evil.
And then this story is actually the parents relaying to the police that it was the doll that killed the kids. Because they're trying to get out of going to jail for killing kids.
So they wrote this story.
Yeah.
And
blaming video games.
Oh, I
Because
see.
we all know
God
video
damn
games
it.
are violent.
Yeah,
right?
yep. They're the cause of all
Yep.
all life's problems. Okay. So everything that's said in the story is a cover up.
Mm-hmm.
So the Tails doll actually showed up and like, guys, you have to get out of here. Your parents are literally going to kill you.
This is actually a very good segue to the fact that I think we should actually go and read the urban legend next week of the Tails doll. Because right before the show started, I did find an urban legend like archive website that has the Tails doll creepypasta or urban legend from the Know Your Meme, like the one I brought up earlier from the Know Your Meme thing, but it's a little actually written down, like a little, and a little elaborated on a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe we'll do that next week. Maybe there'll be some truth to this cover up. I doubt it though.
Yeah.
100% I doubt
You
it.
read the story, it's mentioning the Supernatural Task Force and everything. Like,
like,
how?
It's actually just a listener from the show.
Yeah.
He's like,
It's posted like a month ago. Yeah.
is that it?
Yeah.
Gamer.
You're just not having it anymore, are you? See, my take on the Supernatural Task Force? No, I didn't. You okay, Cultist? You right over there? Yeah. Your one eye's blinking really quickly. Yeah. Okay, cool.
Don't worry about it.
All right, I won't. That's fine. So, when I started reading this, the first line is, Gil and his friend Noah were blah 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 blah. When I first read it, I really thought it said girl and his friend Noah were, which is wrong.
That's
That's my first note, at least.
Wow.
That's the first thing I thought it said, but that would have been so.
Girl and his friend.
And his friend.
Okay, yeah, that would be a surprise.
But it's also pretty accurate for its level of sonicness.
Yeah.
It has to be backed.
At some point, we're going to have to do a Let's Play series of Sonic 06. I know better people have done it before, but I feel like we need to do it just because of how many Sonic BS creepypasta.
It'd be more accurate to do Sonic R. There's a creepypasta.
Yeah, we should do Sonic R as well. We got to do Majora's Mask, Sonic R, Spyro.
Oh, yeah.
Others, I'm sure.
Pokemon.
Yeah, Pokemon. Yeah.
Warframe.
Wolfman.
Which takes fucking months to play.
Yeah, exactly. We'll just. Hey, we have a Twitch channel now. I have a Twitch channel that's for.
We also do not have internet that can support streaming at all.
We absolutely do not.
So maybe a pipe dream. We'll see.
For the audience at home, if you'd like to have us stream some games that have been the inspiration for creepypastas we've done on the show, please let us know in the comments or on an email. We'd love to hear about hear some of that not reception. We'd like to hear from you.
We're open to branching out.
Exactly. Yes.
So my next note is about the salesperson situation.
Yeah.
And getting the game for free and all that. Where Noah was the one that dropped the games and ran over to Gil. He said, "Can we just have it for free and all that?"
Yeah.
So did he just literally drop a handful of games on the floor? Like, what a dick! Yeah, I feel like the cashier should have been like, I mean, yeah, I did say that, but then you dropped a bunch of my games on the floor, so no, you can't have it for free anymore.
No. And that's why they ran out of the building.
Yeah, because they stole it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Goddamn shoplifting.
Yep.
Really, these kids just deserve to die for shoplifting. It's like a slasher movie kind of thing.
Yeah, but they're stealing shit.
They are literally stealing shit.
They're stealing Sonic game.
Sonic R isn't that bad a game, right? I'm not sure. I
gotta pull a move out of Mikey's book there.
Yeah, I was actually sure because I just
It's the first
racing game?
as far as I know, the first one where it's a racing game, but they're running, not on cars.
Oh my
Except
god!
for Amy.
Yeah, she drives a car because she's a girl.
Wow.
Well, I mean that's. Yeah. But yeah, it's
Okay, yeah,
it's not very good.
I get the reason. Okay, again, this is going. We're tangent police. We'll be back. Don't worry. We'll get back on course. We're talking about Sonic. It's part of this story. But at least okay. So I get why Sonic R as a racing game. I get why Sonic has racing games because Sonic runs fast. He goes fast. The problem is Sonic should not be a qualifier in a racing game because he is, like the song says, he is the fastest thing alive.
Is he though? Is he really?
Sonic, he can relay moves.
Well, in the later games, they actually make it make sense because he has to drive a car.
Yeah, but that still makes no fucking sense.
It does. It does. It makes sense. It's the only way to make it fair.
Yeah.
For the other people. To make it a competition.
Because, there's that cinematic in, Sonic 2 or Sonic and Knuckles or something where, he's on top of that biplane that Tails is piloting. And he jumps off and, and almost certainly dies, crashes into the ocean. But then a few seconds later, he catches up to the biplane because he's running so fast on the water, and then surpasses it. It's a fucking biplane. It moves faster than a car in some cases.
Yeah, but Sonic moves faster than the plane.
Yeah.
He's the fastest thing alive. Yeah. But it's bad.
Back to the game before the tangent squad shows up again.
But yeah, I get what you're saying, and the Game Grumps mentioned the same sort of thing. Aaron was telling Dan about the game, and he's like, "You know how Sonic games they have Sonic in a car, Knuckles is in a car, and all that." And then he's like, well, this is the first one they did when they're not in a car. And the reason that they didn't do this anymore is because this was the result. Essentially, because of how bad this is, that's why they shifted over to cars, just to make it a straight-up Mario Kart ripoff.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. And they're much better for it.
I don't know about that.
Haven't you guys been playing? Have you guys recently been playing like a racing game with Sonic?
I've been wanting to, but every time I bring it up, Mikey's like, no, we have to do this other game.
But when we did play it, it was enjoyable.
It was.
Yeah, you guys were like getting pretty far.
And
sorry, tactical police. Sorry, Tangent Police.
We're now the tactical tangent police.
The TTS or the TTP.
The TTP.
Yeah, so the TP.
Yeah, we're not toilet paper anymore.
and I saw gameplay for Sonic R, and I was like, oh man.
It's pretty bad. It's like you run really quick, and then as soon as you want to turn, you're just like grinding into the wall. Like you don't have enough this.
There's not enough like game.
Enough handling.
Yeah.
I feel really bad for the people on our show, like
Where it's like there's not enough this.
that review that have like we have like one or two reviews on our iTunes that like say, could you guys like get focused on the story itself, not like stop going on tangents?
No,
it's like, sorry guys.
No, it's gonna happen. It's up to our editor to edit out our tangents.
Yeah, that doesn't happen.
Clearly,
mainly because when I edit, I think it's too funny.
It's fair enough. So, moving on. They boot up the game for the first time, and it says Noah thought it was a glitch, and how someone hacked it, but Gil knew it was more than a glitch or a hacked game. It was much more evil. How and why?
That's what I brought up earlier. It's like it's more than a feeling. Then tonight's gonna be a good night. Apparently, this is just like the song episode.
It really is.
Why didn't you say Evil Night?
That tonight's gonna be a evil night feeling.
Doesn't work as good.
Yeah. Mikey's just like, fuck you too, Gamer in Yellow.
That's fine. So, moving on. First thing they noticed when Noah started the first race was the track was full dark red and black.
Yeah.
My God. They got the Virtual Boy version.
Oh,
those
shit.
poor bastards.
Oh, God.
Yeah, that's horrible.
Their eyes are going to be bleeding.
Yeah, literally bleeding. That's the true monster of this.
Okay, another tangent.
No!
Do you guys remember on Tech TV, when Tech TV was a Tech TV show, like channel, and they had the G4 Tech TV stuff?
Yep.
Yeah.
And they did, I think it was called, what was it? E-Play or no, X-Play.
Okay.
Was a game review show. Mm-hmm. And like there's some other like game store shows that like kind of all were connected through the syndication of that. When they did a Halloween episode where like it was like almost like a Saw kind of thing, and like one of the characters like was locked away with a virtual voice stuck on his head. Oh, this isn't so bad. And it was like, and they started playing like one of the games on it. It's like, oh God, no, my eyes! I can't do it. And you just see blood start pouring out from like,
my God.
Yeah, it's like so good. It was so like funny, but like terrifying.
Wow. That's awesome. I have to see that.
I miss G4 Tech TV before they became a men's channel or like a men's fashion channel. Yeah, so somebody, some group bought the channel and switched it from being a tech focused show, channel to a men's like fashion and menswear kind of like thing, or like a men's like a men's magazine kind of like channel. And then I think it eventually just went away. Yeah, it was sad. Anyway, back on task.
Yes. So when the challenger approaching situation happened and fades away, the screen faded into black. It stayed black for about 2 minutes. People got to understand length of time more.
Yeah.
In my opinion, like if your game goes black with no sign of it loading or anything, you'd think it's frozen.
Yeah,
like I wouldn't
turn off the system.
Yeah, I doubt anyone would just sit there for more than a minute on a frozen screen.
And if you get to that point and you turn off, and try to turn it off and it doesn't turn off, boom, there's some spookiness.
Yeah. Well, I don't even know if that's spooky, but there's something.
Yes.
You know. Besides, if your game goes black, you do something to check to see if it's still working. Listen to see if the console is making noises. See if you can hit any buttons, even reset it or turn it off. Not sit there in silence for 2 minutes for no reason.
Yeah.
This sort of thing happens with video game stuff, creepypastas all the time, where they just throw out a term a time. That's way longer than anyone would actually sit there and do nothing.
On there for 30 minutes or 15 minutes. Even 2 minutes is too long.
Yeah, like it doesn't sound like a lot, but put a 2-minute timer on your phone and just sit there staring at a TV that's turned off.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Now we're onto the doorbell situation.
The doorbell and dash.
Ding dong ditch.
Ding dong ditch. That's what
Yeah. So my problem here is neither of them reacted to the doll just appearing on the third ring. That's normal.
like, oh, no.
A bloody doll that's there. Cool. I'll take it.
Yeah, I'm not going to look out the door at all and see, like, if I can see who the fuck just dropped this doll here.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the problem is every time they're looking straight ahead. They don't look down at all.
And then the third time they do.
Also, it's a running thing in the story where they just are, like, there's oblivious. Like, there's horror movie obliviousness. And then there's this.
Yeah. I mean, if it said on the third open, like I was angry, I was starting to look around and then I noticed it was down there, then it's entirely possible it was there the whole time.
Yeah.
Which would make sense because the Sergeant Tails doll arrived to tell them that the parents are going to kill them from the SATF.
Yeah, clearly.
Yep.
But,
Hate you.
yeah, it's fine. And yeah, the fact that it's just bloody and they're totally fine with it.
Yeah. It's fine. Everything is fine. The house is on fire. It's fine.
This is fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. It should have been described as bloody from the get-go because I first saw the Tails doll as it was. And then they picked it up and brought it into the kitchen and it was covered in blood. I'm like, what happened in that transition?
it nicked him in the jugular, so spraying a little bit. He's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
And I've said this before, and I'll say it again. If the characters aren't creeped out, why should I be? Because, like, this is meant to be something spooky here.
And
it just randomly shows up and it's covered in blood, but neither of them cares, so why should I?
Like, at best, Gil is just pointing out the stuff, but not reacting to it. Mm-hmm. Like, he's pointing out some of the weird shit, but he's not he's not showing any emotion, or we're not getting any, like any real thing that, like, he's doing anything about, like, the creepiness. He's just commenting on it.
Gil mentions more about stuff when there's nothing really important happening.
Yeah.
When shit gets real, he goes silent. He didn't say anything about this Tails doll showing up. Like, that just spooked him a few minutes ago, and now there's one there. He would be saying shit.
Yeah.
He would be saying, don't pick that fucking thing up, you know?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But he's completely quiet.
Yeah.
And this is where we find out that Noah and Gil are, in fact, the same person. Just multiple personalities.
Ah.
Sleep paralysis.
Aliens.
God damn it.
Yeah. And then my last note is just about how blandly the characters are killed at the end.
Yeah. It's like, bam,
one off.
dead.
Just like, and Noah, they tried to escape, but the thing came, appeared in front of them and killed Noah.
Yeah,
and so Gil got angry. Not scared, angry.
Yeah.
And grabbed a baseball bat from Left Town. Thanks, buddy.
Yeah.
Bam!
I like how you use your right hand to do that.
Shut up. Because my coffee table's on this side.
Well, I mean, it's our left.
It's
so.
stage left.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes, right is stage
Anyway.
left. So technically every direction is always left. Anyways, but yeah, like, they're both one sentence. The first sentence is freaking long, but it's still one sentence. Noah opened it and they both ran as fast as they could down the stairs, almost got at the front door when the Tails doll fell in front of them and killed Noah with his razor sharp claws. That's him dead. And then the Tails doll caught it again and killed Gil.
Yeah.
Like, it's so blunt and
then
quick.
Apparently dragged them up the stairs and put them in their room.
Yeah, for reasons. Because it's a cover-up.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah, but really, it's just the parents that did that. Put them in front of the console. It's like, see, the video games did it.
Yeah. Where's the murder weapon? Oh, I don't know.
It's the Sega Saturn. Get Sega on the phone. He beat the shit out of them and killed them because they weren't playing it.
Yes! Oh my god! Segata is the real monster of this movie, this story.
Segata strikes again.
And he, fuck the parents. The parents are not the ones that killed them.
Segata.
Segata showed up and covered it up by saying Tails the doll did it.
Yeah.
Holy shit! We have our canon.
There you go.
Kaboom!
Oh yeah.
Segata!
Segata's awesome. But moving on. Long story short, you can't just kill off characters so blandly like that at the end. There's no build-up. There's no clear visual of the fight scene or anything that happened to them. The way I imagined all these fight scenes happening, like, is how the hand-to-hand fight scenes happened in Team America. Where it's just like... like their limbs just flailing around at each other because nothing's described.
Yeah.
And because of that, it didn't scare me at all.
Of course.
You know, it's not creepy.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
But that's about it until Final Thoughts, which is about now.
Actually, not yet. Workshopping is next.
Workshopping?
I told you guys earlier, before the show, that I want us to do like kind of a, like, how would we use Tails the doll in like a story, or like how would we like make it better, basically. Mm-hmm. So this is our workshopping segment. So I feel like the premise of this story that we just like looked at and like did the actual thoughts and all that stuff of, I feel like this story could work, not as written though.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if Segata's
like,
the villain.
That's a good idea. But like, it does go the route of the Ring and have the Tails doll like come out of the TV and kill the players. So just use that and make it more atmospheric and thought out.
The problem is no one sees the Tail doll leave, just the narrator.
Yeah.
So that, as creepy as that could have been, neither of the characters saw it. So they aren't creeped out by it.
Yeah.
So its potential is wasted.
Exactly.
And it just being mentioned in a one-liner, it's like it crawled out of the broken TV. Upstairs, they're playing a different game.
In a movie, that would work because the audience I'm sorry, I'm dropping you now. This is the whole thing, but why a movie would work better, like in that with the way it's just done, because it gives the audience the tension and like, oh fuck, the characters are screwed. They don't see what's going to happen to them, and it builds that suspense for the audience. If you can do that as a story, but not as this is written.
Well, of course not. But if it's described better, you get the same feeling.
Yeah, you can build. Yeah, but you need to describe it better. You need to add some more like atmospheric description as well, not just the plain actions of what the monster's doing. Yeah, because because then you get that sense from the reader that the characters might be doomed, and like you get some suspense from that. Mm-hmm. Like, oh fuck, what's gonna happen to poor Gil and Noah?
I care so much about it.
I know. Yeah. Or you take it the other route and just have it like that. The creature's doing all things out like in like the background, and but we've been following the Noah and Gil the whole time. So like, then when it comes out, like shows up, like they're hearing sounds like downstairs, like they're hearing movement downstairs. Like, what the hell's that? And then like the doorbell thing, and then they go back upstairs, and then it appears, and then they get attacked by it, or like it comes out of the screen. It comes out through the screen again through their through the TV
one that they're playing now.
Yeah. To like for the big reveal, and then like. Yeah, and then it attacks them there. Like, you either follow one character, like the characters that are going to be the victims, and have the monster doing things on the side, like less is more, like have the monster be elusive and creepy until like the big reveal, or you show both sides but do it in a way that's more atmospheric and like builds up the tension because you're now worried about the characters who aren't seeing what's going on, but you are as a reader.
Like all the things that happen in the background have no real impact.
Yeah. Or like they're just so plainly described that they're just like, okay. Yeah. Like, and maybe another idea I had for this, like to incorporate, use Tails in a creepypasta like this, maybe have the story take place after the initial murder, like from the side of the cops. Like coming in after like hearing a noise complaint from the neighbors, and like knowing have the story be the background information for the story of the cops like investigating this creepy murder scene of two kids who were playing a Sega game. Like they were just playing the Sega game, and then the cops find them in the bedroom like dead, like the way they are, and it's like, what the fuck happened here? And then have that be a mystery story.
Didn't they confiscate the Sega Saturn?
They did. They confiscated it, but it wasn't considered a murder weapon, so I don't know why they took it.
Because they got to get their Sonic R on.
Apparently,
they just want to play video games.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, this is evidence.
Totally evidence. Yes, I have a Sega Saturn now. Yes.
It's like they get in the car. It's like, boys, we got a new console for the lounge.
Yeah.
So yeah, like use that. Like have the story take place not during this murder sequence, like during this story, but have it happen after this story.
So do it in a very stereotypical slasher situation where there's an entry-level pre-credit murder, and then there's a post-credit murder,
and then there's
that takes up the whole thing.
Exactly, yeah. Yeah, because, I mean, this character's already acting like a slasher character, or slasher villain. Mm-hmm. Also, maybe even to, like, modernize this a little bit, have the EB Games and the current, with their current trend of, like, selling more merch than games, or even make it a flea market, or a fictional, like, mom and pa, like, game shop or something like that, or, like, toy shop or whatever, if you don't want to use the brand of EB Games. And maybe have the Tails doll come out of the game, like, years back or something like that, and you can develop that in the story as it goes, as the characters research it. And then, but, like, he got stuck in our reality after a couple of kills. And so he's now just a murderous plushie that is, like, has wound up at a flea market or at an EB Games as, like, a plushie that you can buy from the game.
That's the sequel.
Yeah, that could be it. Like that,
because the Tails doll was never found. Yeah. Probably.
And also on that front, show the toy mutate a little bit, because where did the Razor Claws come from? Like, he just randomly has, and I know for a fact that outside of, like, creepy renditions, like, drawings of the Tails doll, the Tails doll itself that's used as the, like, progenitor of these stories in urban legend does not have claws.
No.
But, like, yeah, show that mutation. Like, show that transformation from plushie to monster.
Didn't you say he had, like, an aerial on his back with, like, a red ball on it?
Yeah. Oh, no, it's not even a red ball. It's a red diamond. So, like a sharp, elongated diamond thing.
You could be stabbing people with that.
Exactly, yeah.
Or, like, it was just a freaking, like a straight wire, and they stabbed someone in the heart, pulled his heart out, and the heart's beating on it.
Yeah, and it's supposed to be kind of like a weird, like an RC, like, antenna kind of thing.
Yeah.
So they're usually pretty flexible and stuff. But yeah, use that too. Like, use that as, like, part of the monster. Like, incorporate the parts of the monster that are already there, or show a transformation or mutation to have razor claws.
Plus, the monster is already somewhat possibly magical, because even in Sonic R, he floats. He doesn't run.
Yeah.
He just floats around. So whether or not that's from tech or magic, I don't know.
It's still but in regards to, like, it coming through a TV, that's at that point it's magic too, or it's techno magic. Mm-hmm. We need a technomancer to deal with.
Yeah, just straight up technomancer through the wires and all that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah, so, like, that's kind of my thoughts on for workshopping this creature. Like, you can use it for a creepy doll story. It's just the way it's done in the story, and because this is kind of like the nature of this story in particular, it wasn't done very well. But there are definitely some ways to improve the story and make a story with the Tails doll and have it be a creepy story and have it be a decent creepy story. So that's my 2 cents for workshopping Tails doll.
I like your idea of the flea market.
Yeah.
Because then it can be like, well, here's the game, and you get this plushie for free.
Bam! Whoa. Yeah, that's good. I also went with the flea market because, like, that flea markets and, like, swap meets and stuff like that, they're or a yard sale, are generally not skeevier, but they're more they're more believable to have, like, a cursed item than an EB Games.
Yeah,
like. Not to say anything, like, EB Games, like, has used stuff, used products and stuff like that, but, like, it just seems a little, it's like using Disney, it's kind of like using Disney as an evil corporation, as, like, an evil, like, supernatural corporation. Mm-hmm. I can personally buy that, but not everyone can. It's a lot more, like, consumable for your brain. To use something that's a little bit more obscure, a little bit more, like, off to the side, like, again, like an antique store, like an old antique warehouse, or, like, again, a swap meet, a flea market, a mom and pa toy shop that, like, sells, like, thrift store stuff, kind of things like that. Like, it kind of plays on that, like, the hand-me-down horror of, like, that situation. Yeah. Mm-hmm. More than using an EB Games, which is a major venue, like a mainstream
But
venue.
in the situation where it's a more modern time and someone
Yeah.
is trying to trade it in and they just leave it there and then the next person walks in and finds it saying, how much is this? It's like, that's not ours.
We don't sell that. I don't
You
know
just
why.
take it out of here.
See,
Yeah.
that would work really well. Yeah, like as it is, like that presented, if it was done written better, like for that,
Yeah.
that would fit better. Again, like I'm not saying like don't use EB Games or don't use Disney because like you can. It's just sometimes it's a little bit more easier to swallow if it's like a flea market or something like that. Because like again, we have a couple of flea markets that we've gone to that are still around that have some really nice, like some really awesome, like kind of creepy, like thrift story kind of like venues that sell video games. Like they're not creepy, like they're not actually scary, but like you could easily like flip it on its head, like with a couple of words,
Yeah.
and like in your description of it, and turn that into something creepy.
Yeah. And the other thing is the whole TV scenario with them smashing the TV.
Yeah,
Like, that's unneeded. Like,
yeah,
and the kids don't feel any sense of remorse or I'm going to get in trouble.
or any consequence. Yeah, they just don't care.
Yeah.
Like,
They're kids.
I mean, yes,
Yeah, but
like,
at this stage in their life, they should know that destroying property is a bad thing.
Noah said it's worth it.
yeah,
I don't know why it's worth
fine.
it,
Don't worry. Yeah,
but he said it's worth it.
it's why I keep doing the "it's fine" thing. Is because like that's basically been their whole like slogan basically for this is like they don't care. I think it would have been actually really good if they'd like he'd just instead of using a hammer, just slap it, like do the Dutch approach, and just have the TV turn off, like just like power off. Like don't break it, but just have it like turn off, and they're like, oh shit. Okay, well, like don't physically destroy
But if he
it.
didn't break it, the Tails doll wouldn't have been able to climb out of it.
Except,
Well-
I mean, he still could do it like the ring, where where it just pops out, like phases out of the screen.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
'Cause
why
apparently-
does it have to be broken
Yeah.
for it to be let out?
Yeah, like why?
There isn't a physical doll in the TV.
Yeah, exactly. Like
You know.
it's not like a technomancer coming through the wires and then like physically manifesting out of the projector in the back of the TV. And
And
then-
technically, breaking the TV would break the exit for Technomancer, right?
yeah,
Like it would have to function.
yeah, because otherwise you just get blood and gore. That's like sifting through. Because it's like why they put like the shield thing on Stargates in Stargate SG-1 is so that when people try to go through the gate on the other side and they smash into the door and basically just disintegrate.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, So there's been a couple like really horrific sequences where like the main characters get out and then like some of the enemies have like followed them through, so they immediately close this shield they have on the gate. So they're coming through like a hyperspace wormhole.
Yeah.
And just basically smash into the thing. You just hear like boom, 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 boom. And it's like those are people that just got smashed against that thing and then deatomized again.
So, yeah, the TV did nothing wrong in this story.
The TV did nothing wrong.
So the TV's fault they played Sonic on.
Leave TV alone.
Leave it alone. I'm staring.
Wow, you actually said that. Woo.
You know your quote of the day for that.
Yeah, Jesus. Okay.
But, yeah, my understanding for this story was the reason why the TV was smashed was so that the doll could be bloody. Because it's going through the portal and it's instead of a nice clean transition, it has to go through the...
It has to mute. It gets mutilated a little bit on the side.
No,
Yeah.
it's bloody because blood's creepy.
Yeah. Clearly. But yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, so, yeah. Working on the atmosphere is really what this needs.
Yeah.
Because the deaths are just sort of, bam, there and done.
Oh god, yeah. Like it's just summarized. Like it's barely like it's just one noted. Like
Yeah.
yeah.
Like the last one with Gil is like, he caught the knife and killed him.
That's the line.
Fini.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
it's like,
Now-
wow, way to cherish human life, guys, even fictional life.
Mm-hmm.
Like, at least give us some description. Like,
Now, if memory serves, we have had creepypastas on here before where we've just been like, just give us one more line. They died. Or something like that, because the characters are in a inescapable experience, and the monster's like right there, and then it just ends.
no, yeah, because it fades to black and lets you
Yeah.
do it. You can do that well, but yeah, like a lot of times it's not executed properly.
Yeah.
But there needs to be that build up first.
Yeah,
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 but-
and we don't get any of that.
Yeah.
No.
So, like,
This is like the
if they've gone through this huge maze with this monster chasing them, and like they've been nicked a couple of times, and they get to the end, and it's a dead end, and the monster's there.
And the monster's approaching, and then that's where the story. And then like they just like look at it, and that's where the story ends. You can do that well,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
but you can also do it poorly. Like just like where we want, like just say they died or they got killed or something like that.
Yeah, but even then, you don't say the monster killed them.
Yeah,
You would say, like, and their fate was sealed. Like, you would
Exactly,
say
yeah.
something like that to
Yeah, so,
say,
like-
like, there's nothing they can do to get out of it. They're fucked.
exactly. And then that's the end of the story, and that's a nice like finished story. But yeah, and then you do. But then there's this end of the spectrum where you don't have any setup whatsoever, and just like have they died.
Yeah.
There's no setup or payoff.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, like I'm just going to be basically parroting you here. More atmospheric description and more like. Mikey has a revelation.
Okay. So, Tails doll, Dr. Robotnik,
Yes.
going after Sonic.
Mhm.
He doesn't do anything until they start running.
Oh fuck! I get what you're saying. It's actually it's
Because
triggered
they're supersonic racing.
because they're running fast. That's what triggers the kill switch on the doll. The yeah. I actually am kind of okay with that. If it was properly explained that it goes after them like because they were moving fast. Like if it showed like they walked to the door and it didn't react, and then as soon as they started running, that's when it went into kill mode.
Yeah.
That would actually be really like.
And
nicely
didn't just
teased.
immediately kill one of them, but nicked one of them. They're like, what? Why?
And then they stopped, and it stopped too. It's like,
Yeah.
and then it becomes like kind of a graboid thing where like you make a sound or you move too much, like that's how they get you.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that is what a revelation! What a revelation! That would be really good for for adding on to make the horror of the creature, or like giving it a rule like that. Mm-hmm. Like because that way you give a little bit an inkling of hope that maybe they can survive, and then when they get killed, it's like, no, like you get that like terrible like feeling that's awesome in horror stories when like the character could have survived but didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah. Damn you straight to hell. Damn you back to hell. But yeah, no, that's actually really good. I like that.
It's pretty neat.
So,
Gamer, anything for you for the workshop?
Well, it kind of ties into one thing I was thinking about, where like the whole catalyst to all this is the tag mode.
Yeah.
In Sonic R.
In both stories, like both Urban Legend and Creepypasta.
Mm-hmm. And the tag mode, I didn't look it up, but I'm assuming you're doing a racing game, but the idea is you run into someone and then they're tagged and they're out.
Yeah.
So that in itself, at its core, is someone being chased by someone else.
Yeah.
So so this could be a situation where either the Tails doll comes into real life and is initiating tag on these people through murder, or they are Captain End inside to the video game, and they literally have to run away from him inside the video game.
Yeah. Like, you could have them basically almost a Home Alone kind of thing where, like, they're, like, trapped in the house. Mm-hmm. Like, Tails has locked all the doors.
Yeah, of course. And they can't unlock them.
Or, like, all the doors have been, like, magically sealed or closed up. And, like, now they're basically
It's
playing
invisible
tag.
walls. It's a video game.
Exactly, yes. And now, like, the house is now the level.
Yeah.
And so now they're being chased around the house because Tails is playing tag.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, that could be the whole story right there.
Yeah.
Like, that's the story. Like, they accidentally summoned Tails doll, and now they're playing tag for reals.
Mm-hmm.
So you die in the game, or you get tagged in the game, you tag for real.
Yep. If you get tagged in the game, you die.
We really need to like do that for our Al Dente Real Talk episode sometime. Like,
What?
sit down and watch Stay Alive.
Oh, yeah.
Because that is prime like video game creepypasta plot. If I ever watched one,
Pretty much, yeah. So yeah, there's 100 ways that you can make this better.
yeah,
The way it is not the best way. Probably the worst way.
yeah,
There's no setup. There's no payoff. There's no connection with characters. The monster's not creepy. The monster is unexplained in 100,000 ways.
yep,
The ending doesn't make sense. Like, nothing makes sense.
yeah.
So any way that you take it is probably better. And we brought up a few different ones, whether or not they're...
We workshopped a few ideas of like how to use the Tails doll and make a story that is much more adequate, if not better, than an average video game creepypasta, and certainly better than this story.
Yeah.
All right, so I guess on to final thoughts with that segue. I'm going to start with this quote, the last quote of the story. But when they got there, Noah and Gil were both upstairs in Noah's bedroom. One of the police officers took the Sega Saturn to the station, and his partner said that there was no murder weapon. Ow. I know this is an archived creepypasta to show what not to do, but all I can say is, ow. This hurt my brain sometimes to read. I understand why this is an example for what not to do, what to look for the admins for creepypasta.wiki. So in that regard, looking for the goofus of creepypastas to learn from, or looking at the goofus of creepypastas to learn from, this is recommended. Just don't copy pasta this style of writing. You're better than this internet and authors on the internet. You're better than this. I believe in you.
We believe in you.
Yes, we're ready to believe you. Sorry, that was a
Ghostbusters.
reference.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes, we believe in you. You can do better. You will do better. So yeah, that's honestly my final thoughts. It's just I recommend it as something to look at as to what not to do.
Okay, so you said I recommend it. I looked over to you like,
I recommend.
What?
Yeah, like this is definitely like a good example of what not to do. What not to do. And if you can take it from there and then like learn from this thing's mistakes, like you can make a better story out of it, as our workshopping little segment did. But yeah, otherwise, obviously, I can't recommend the story as it is.
Yeah.
So, Mikey, what do you got?
Yeah, if you're looking for a story that is good, not recommended.
Yeah.
If you're looking to improve your writing ability by looking at what other people have done that's bad, so you can avoid their pitfalls, then I give this a partial recommendation.
Like this is definitely the goofus to like the princess's gallant.
Yeah.
To continue using a very anachronistic, goofus and gallant, like what not to do, what to do, analogy.
Yeah, but I think reading good writing is probably better than reading bad writing.
Yes and no. Like both of them have different merits. So like reading like this, it gives you like, okay, this is like clearly really bad, but as long as I don't do this kind of thing, I'll be good.
I think you have to read a lot of... Okay, if you read something that's good, you might not notice why it's good. But if you read something that's bad, you will notice yourself stumbling. And you'll be like, why is this difficult to read? Oh, it's because of that.
Yeah.
So I should not do that. That makes sense? Yeah. So it's kind of, at least in my opinion, more beneficial to read crappy stuff to see what the problem is so you can avoid it in the future.
Yeah, to deconstruct it and learn from its mistakes.
Yeah, but once you have a bunch of those under your belt, then reading good ones, you'll see ways that you should do it.
Yeah, or things like, wait, I could improve that way. Like, yeah, I mean, both have like you don't want to do like
you can't just do one.
Yeah, you should read both like both ends of the spectrum.
Yeah,
to kind of get what you're or to try and like better yourself.
Yeah, and in this the deaths are just there for shock value and add nothing to the story.
Shock value?
Not even shock value. It's just like it's just they're noted. They're like
what happened. They existed.
Yeah. So yeah.
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 Okay, then. Yeah.
For me, I can't recommend it clearly
Obviously,
as a good creepypasta, but like as the title for this or the section that's under is pointless violence totally makes it scary, you guys.
Yeah. That's,
Is it okay? I understand
really
it's pointless.
Yeah.
But like when you told me that was the title that this is under,
yeah.
I was expecting something to be like extremely violent,
I'll be
like
frank,
very descriptive.
Yeah, I was also expecting a lot more than what we got.
Yeah.
I don't think this is the most violent. We have definitely read some good pastas that have a lot of violence in them that is much more gratuitous than this.
Yeah, like I think that's
Yeah.
improperly tagged.
Yeah.
Well, but this is pointless violence. There is no point to the violence.
Tails murdered them
yeah, pointless.
for reasons.
They could have
Yeah.
gotten away.
It's because
It's because the TV did nothing wrong.
Yeah.
there is pointless violence on the TV.
Yeah. No, honestly, you know what? That might be what they're getting around is like, why did you destroy that TV?
I don't think so. But like, okay, if it is talking about the Tails doll doing pointless violence, every single monster that you summon and murders you,
is pointless violence.
yeah.
No, I get it. It's just like,
Or is it like,
but-
is it not pointless because you did the summoning ritual?
yeah, to me, it's not, yeah.
But they did the summoning ritual by playing Sonic R and playing tag mode and getting everything. Oh wait, no.
They don't even get it.
Sorry, I was mixing it up again with the Know Your Meme one.
Yeah.
This is they got the curse.
Yeah, they just got the curse for like playing.
And that is the reason. That's the point they're murdered is because they have the cursed game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's pointless.
I think it might also be trying to get around like because like the very beginning of the game, like the thing that's creepy about the initial like video game when they're playing it is that Tails dog kills Sonic. That's I think that might be the pointless violence is spooky because like that's
like in a loading
it's just put
screen.
it's just put in there to be like to show that there's something creepy or spooky about the game. But that's like again a video game creepypasta trope of just like it's like
movies and video games.
Yeah.
They have to show, or generally speaking, they want to show like murders and deaths because that's what's scary.
yeah.
Well,
Also, I was expecting a lot more than just that.
I think when it comes to the deaths, it's just sort of a one-shot kill.
Yeah, it's like, and it's like, again, like just dead.
But it's more like you're dead. Like nothing is said why.
Yeah,
he just points like
I
you're dead now. I got you.
I think honestly that is like that pointless death, like pointless violence. Like they were just killed because that's what makes a spooky ending is that they died.
Oh, okay. So it's not that the violence is pointless. It's that the violence is like almost. It's not described.
Yeah, and it's done like so haphazardly and just so like lazily,
Yeah.
just to evoke like a kind of creepy ending that they were killed at the end.
Yeah, like even if the entire thing was not scary, then it's just like the Tails all came out and killed him and him.
Done.
Finn. You know,
The
like
end.
that's supposed to be scary. I get it.
Game over.
Like I get it, but I was expecting something.
A lot more violence.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah, but if we got the described violence and like
A little bit better,
fight
honestly.
that actually happened as opposed to just he swung and he missed.
Yeah.
He swung and he missed again.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Swung
he fell,
both times.
he fell on the floor, woke up with the pistol in his mouth.
That'd have been like an
Reload my gun. Yeah, yeah, pretty much.
I hope we have some Game Grumps fans like in our listenership
I hope so.
because we reference them so much.
It's because they're funny.
It's true.
They're great people.
We do like them. But yeah, so obviously, like,
I can't recommend it as it is, obviously. The Tails doll itself, I get why it's kind of a thing, because it's creepy.
yeah.
But honestly, I was more creeped out by the bench tails.
But
No, the Tails bench. I forget which way it is. It was a suggestion at the bottom of the Know Your Meme page
oh shit!
of another meme. It's essentially it's the cover art for a not safe for work comic book of Sonic.
I have a pornographic comic book
Oh no!
of Tails sitting on a bench with two like baby furry characters playing in a sandbox in front of him. Yep.
Oh.
Way more creep down.
No.
Way more creep down.
That's too creepy. Too creepy for me.
Yeah.
3 creepy, 5 me. I think we're gonna cut it there.
Yeah, that's way scarier.
Holy shit. Alright, well that has been this week's episode of Al Dente Rigamortis. Tune in next time when we do the urban legend. We cover a version of the urban legend of that
Tails bench.
No! Oh. If you like what you heard, or if you didn't, I can understand, especially after the last 5 minutes.
I'm sorry.
Leave us a comment in the comment section below where this gets posted, whether it be on Kiwi6, Facebook, YouTube, or Tumblr. You can check us out on iTunes and leave us a review and rating. Help us spread like a virus. You can contact us on Twitter. Mikey is at the E stands for evil. The Gamer and Yell is at the Gamer and Yell without that W because his name's too long.
It really is.
Like,
it has to
we're
be,
just
though.
dropping the because they took it or because they took his last name or whatever. No, it's just his name's too long.
It is too long, but it has to be for the glory of the king.
Yes, clearly. And you can contact me on Twitter at ReviewCultist. If you'd like to send us an email, go to aldenterigamortis@gmail.com, and that's aldenterigamortis@gmail.com, where you can also leave us suggestions for other creepypastas you can like us to discuss on the show. Please do not send us Tails Bench creepypastas. I will be removing that. That is on the blacklist.
Yeah, it is.
Anyway, if you'd like to help support the show, you can go to Patreon and select the backer tier you'd like to support us at. We have $2 and $5 tier with special episodes, extra content, early access. For our patrons that are helping support the show, thank you immensely. As always, you're helping keep those hosting bills at bay. We very much appreciate that. And to the listeners and the authors of these stories, thank you immensely. Because seriously, guys, without your listenership or authorship, we really wouldn't have a show. So thank you. Until next time, I've been your host, Review Cultist.
I'm Mikey. The E stands for evil.
And I'm the Gamer in Yellow.
And this has been Al Dente Rigamortis.
Go fast.
And sleep well.
The TV did nothing wrong.
And don't blame the TV.